How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Fight Guy YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about UFC 290, which took place yesterday, Saturday the 8th. This had to be one of the craziest cards I've seen in a while, and we're going to jump straight to the prelims. Actually, let's get started with the main card. So first, we had Alexander Volkanvoski taking on Yair Rodriguez. This fight went, I would say, according to plan. I think everybody knew Volk was going to win. I think we thought Yair was going to be able to put up a bit of a better fight. Yair had no answers for Volk, and it just shows that Volk is on a completely different level. Think about how close the fight was between Max and Yair about a year ago. Max clearly won, I think, but Yair had some good moments. He gave Max some trouble. They both were fucked up at the end of the fight. Both had to go to the hospital. And then think about how the fight went last night. Volk, his footwork was too much for Yair. It seemed like Yair was swinging and missing a lot. It seemed like he was much, much stronger than Yair. It seemed like he could take him down at will whenever he wanted. Just look at that final sequence. He just picked him up and just dumped him on his head. Just started grounding and pounding him. And even the speed, I thought Yair was going to have a huge speed advantage. And I still think he might have a speed advantage. It was just the footwork of Volk made it where Yair just couldn't touch him. He's had no answers. He had a little bit of offense towards the third round, a little bit, but once he started going, Volk just neutralized it and stopped it and got the fight over with that big right hook, followed with the slam, followed by some ground and pound. And then it just leaves you to think, what's next for Volk? He's cleared out. I hate when people say such and such is cleared out of division when they've only fought 3 people. For example, when Usman cleared out his division, he only fought 2 people. He only fought what's his name? Masvidal, Gilbert, and Kobe 1,000 times. That's not clearing it out. You beat 3 people twice each. As soon as he ran into Leon, he lost. And he never fought Bilal. He never fought a few. There's a lot of people in that division he just hasn't fought. But when you look at Volk, he hasn't fought everybody in the division. But the people, he's fighting the very, very, very best in the division. And he's making it look easy. And then everybody he hasn't fought, they're fighting Max. And Max is making it look easy. And he's dominating Max. So, I would say that Volk has cleared out the division. So I honestly want to see him move up to 155. I'm not against him fighting Ilia Topuria. I like Ilia Topuria, young, confident, undefeated dude. And before last night, I'm like, Ilia got a chance. But after seeing what he did to Yair, I don't think anybody has a chance. Every time we see Volk, he's looking better and better and better. And he's losing. Only his last loss was to Islam, who's a much bigger dude. I think that's the only way to beat Volk. Because Yair is bigger than Volk. But I think you have to be a lot bigger than him. You need to be bigger, stronger. I think maybe Dustin Poirier might have a chance. People like that, Gaethje, people that's just a lot bigger. Dustin's a lot bigger. Maybe Michael Chandler, but Michael might just have a puncher's chance. But that footwork is going to be too much for him. And Volk just has an amazing game. He's a complete package. He has great striking, great footwork, great takedowns, great fucking anti-jiu-jitsu demonstrated by when he fought Brian Ortega. Great leg kicks. Tremendous fight IQ. Normally when you see fighters winning and they got the person hurt and rocked, you'd be like, no, don't shoot for a takedown. Even when Volk did it last night, I'm like, what is he doing? He's hurt. Bro, he took him down. Just like that. Fight was over. It was a wrap. I'm sorry Yair had to lose like that because I'm a Yair fan, but Volk was just clearly the better man. Clearly. Wasn't even close. And then we have the flyweight title fight between Brandon Moreno and Alexander Pantoja. Okay. This was fight of the year so far. Not even close. The only fight you can put even close to it is Alexander Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev, but it wasn't as close as this fight to me. I think Islam clearly won that fight. It was both people had their rounds where it was clear domination. This fight, Brandon would be running, then Pantoja get him and almost submit him, then Brandon gets out of it, starts hitting him again. Pantoja walked through some bombs. That jab was peppering him up all night. nonstop jab, 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 jab. It was crazy. And he just kept eating the shit. Brandon hit him with some solid elbows. Didn't phase him. Like, I think it was a few instances where he looked rocked, but never like, oh, the fight's about to be over. Whenever he would get hurt, it was just he would shoot and get like an instant takedown, or I don't know. He put up a hell of a fight. I do think Pantoja won just because it's based off damage and how close you are to ending the fight. And like it was a few times where he had submissions that like he clearly won the fifth round. I think he won the first round based off the knockdown, and then you can give him 2, 3, or 4. Just figure out which one you want to give him. So I think he clearly won that. I don't know what they do with Brandon Moreno. First of all these guys need some time because everybody took some damage in this fight. I mean, it's just this card in general. Everybody was getting fucked up. But both of them need some time. Uh, and do you want to? I don't get me wrong, that fight was amazing. But do you want to see Moreno fight Pantoja again? He just had what a quadrilogy with what's his name? Figueiredo, Davison Figueiredo. It was like lose, win, fight, lose, win, draw. Like, do we want to see that same thing going for another 2, 3 years with Alexander Pantoja? And Pantoja's already 3-0 against him. Like, it's kind of the same thing with Izzy and what's his name? Alex Poitin. Can't think of his last name right now. But it's kind of the same thing. Like Alex won 3 fights and then Izzy gets the one and we like, well, it's over. Izzy finally won. Is Brandon Moreno just gonna get one win and be like, well, we done Pantoja? So I don't know what they do. I kind of want to see Pantoja fight Royval, even though I know they fought already. But let's see that, and then let Brandon go fight one more person, then come back and bring it. Don't just run it right back again. I kind of like when you give great fights a little time to breathe. Let us appreciate how good it was. Like let Pantoja go beat up on Royval, or let Royval beat up on Pantoja, and then you'll be like, okay, now we appreciate this fight that we had. But let's get to the next one. Robert Whittaker versus Dricus Du Plessis. I think everybody lost money yesterday betting. If you bet on any of these fights, you lost money. Because everybody lost that was supposed to win besides Volk and Bo Nickel. Man, Robert Whittaker from the beginning of the fight, he looked slow to me. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. It was one sequence when he was throwing like a right jab, or he was throwing something with Du Plessis back headed towards the cage, and he just looked slow and sloppy. Like it was in round 1. It was just like, oh, this is not gonna be his night. I thought he was gonna win the fight way beforehand, but just like when he got in the cage, he just looked like he was moving a little slow. Maybe it's in my head. Maybe it's like, was it hindsight bias or whatever you want to call it? But Robert didn't look like himself, and Du Plessis looked sharp. He looked big. He looked powerful. He looked way more composed than he normally is. He looked like he had a bigger gas tank. Normally, his ass is gassed 2 minutes, 50 seconds into the first round. He looked like he could have definitely won a solid 3 rounds. He got the TKO in the second round with 2 minutes. I mean, second round, 2 minutes and 23 seconds into the fight. And he put on a show. Like, Robert Whittaker's, I thought he won that last fight against Adesanya, the second one. It was close, but Robert Whittaker has been whooping ass in this division. He's been whooping everybody ass besides Izzy. It hasn't even been close. And Dricus Du Plessis just bust onto the scenes, and to be honest, I was not impressed with him at all. Be completely honest, he beat what's his name? Give me one second. He beat give me one second. What is this dude's name? Give me one second. Oh shit, I can't get it. My phone's all the way over there, and for some reason my internet's not working here right now. But he beat oh my god, Darren Till. There we go. My bad, y'all. That was a huge brain fart. He beat Darren Till, who was on like a huge slope, and like that fight wasn't impressive to me. It was a good win for him, but like Darren Till was on the decline. He's not even in the UFC anymore. Then he beat Blonde Bronson, who also has a bad gas tank, and it's like looks like he's about to retire. And he beat one other guy, but it's just like the wins he was getting were on guys that were on the decline. which isn't his fault because you can only fight who they give you. But I was like, oh, when he fights somebody good, there's no way. Like I thought Marvin Vettori would give him trouble. I thought Jared Cannonier would give him trouble, and I just knew he would lose to Robert Whittaker. Like I did bet last night. I bet on Robert Whittaker. I bet on Jalen Turner. I bet on Volkanvoski, and I bet on Nico Price. So I had a terrible night last night, but it's cool, man. But I'm before this fight, I wasn't even excited about seeing Dricus fight Izzy. I'm still don't think Dricus has a 5-round gas tank, and he still swings way too big. But he dropped Robert Whittaker with a it wasn't a jab, but it was like a right straight, but it didn't look like the most powerful punch. Definitely didn't look like it should have had that kind of impact. So maybe bro just has some different type of power. And it makes the fight a little bit interesting. I think Izzy should be a huge favorite, like minus 300, minus 400. But I think the build-up's going to be kind of crazy, especially with Izzy getting in the cage, calling them all type of nigga. N-word this, N-word that, my nigga, my African brother. I think it's going to be crazy. Izzy's going to have some good one-liners. And Dracus doesn't seem like the guy with good comeback. So we'll see. Then we had Jalen Turner taking on Dan Hooker, which is also another crazy fight. I think it would be like a candidate for fight of the year. But Jalen Turner missed weight, and the stakes weren't big enough. Like I think Pantoja versus Brandon Moreno being for the title is just like what pushes it over the edge. I think the last fight of the year was a title fight, and I just think title fights just make it so much larger, so much bigger. But both dudes looked sloppy. There was a lot of mistakes made. Um, I don't think Jalen Turner trained properly for this fight at all, indicated by him missing weight, and he was just exhausted, bro. Like he was gassed. At one point, he couldn't even pick his arms up. Dan Hooker, good win, good winning streak. Always, not always, but he's been putting on some good fights recently. Normally, he does his best. Like sometimes he's just outmatched, but when he has a good training camp and comes in focused, he usually puts on a solid performance. I don't know how he tanked that head shot. That head kick, bro. He tanked it. That was one of the most deadly head kicks I've seen. Like that reminded me of Paula Costa head kick on Robert Romero. Romero, his name, Yoel Romero, when he just ate it. Like I don't know how he ate it. He wobbled a little bit, but he ended up winning that round, which was just crazy to me. He broke his hand, so he's gonna need some time. But shit, that was a hell of a fight, hell of a card. Jalen Turner's on like a 2-fight losing streak, I believe. He needs to get his life together. I think he could be really good at 155. He has the size, he has the reach, he has the technique, he has the physique. I thought he was locked in and focused, but missing weight like this, not a good look. Then we got lastly Bo Nickel fighting this unknown name dude. Bo did what he's supposed to do. I think he was like minus 2,800 or something like that. Crazy favorite. Um, I'm gonna point out this though. Bo looked amazing. I'm not gonna be the one dude to hate on him like, oh, should he fighting garbage cans? We do need to see him fight some better competition. But I am gonna point this out. He looked like he went for a takedown, and dude stuffed it low key easy. I don't know if Bo and like last time, dude, Bo fought was giving him. Bo had a hard time taking him down before the cup shot. I don't know if Bo's gonna have a hard time taking these dudes down. I know he's this All American, 4-time world champion wrestling dude, but like we only seen him twice in the UFC, but dudes are stuffing the takedowns. Just pointing that out. He might be better taking people down against the cage, which a lot of people are, but I would think his like double leg and single legs would be like on the money. And I was thinking Bo was gonna be similar to like Hamshot Shemaev, where it's like, okay, as soon as the match starts, 10 seconds in, boom, dude's on the ground, done for, scrambling. But Bo's standing up, moving more. It looks like Bo has some crazy power in his hands because whenever he hits people, they fucking feel it. I know from just having friends that are wrestlers, like they have like just crazy grip strength and just crazy power. Like not even from just lifting weights, just from constantly going back and forth with other people, just resisting like tension strength. So I think Bo has like crazy power. And he put on a good show. He did what he's supposed to do. Got the fight finished in 38 seconds, which is really fast. Like, it's crazy. I want to see him fight somebody like slightly better. Like, don't rush him because I still think he's new. But like, I mean, I'm getting tired of seeing him beat people up in like 50 seconds. When you do this whole build up, he's kind of right now. He kind of has the Mike Tyson effect. It's like, don't go get any food, don't go get a beer or anything, because if you come back, the fight will be over. I kind of want to see him at least go to the second round. But impressed with Bo right now. And then um the prelims, I'm just gonna talk about one fight. Robbie Lawler versus Nico Price. Robbie, I definitely thought you was gonna get your ass beat. I bet against you too. You ruined my parlay very early. It was a bad night. As soon as you got in the cage. Uh Congratulations on the win. You looked sharp. Nico, you looked terrible. I don't know what you was doing, but I think you need to take some time to work on your defense and because your chin. Maybe Robbie was sharp. Robbie does hit hard, but Robbie hasn't got a finish like that in years. I'm not counting that Nate Diaz win. Like Nate had a dad bod and looked terrible and looked like he was in quicksand. But Robbie, good job. Congrats on a great career. I think the UFC did a good job with the whole video and all that stuff. The prelims were really good. A lot of super early finishes. I know the one girl knocked the girl out in like 20 seconds or something like that. Um, I didn't watch all of them, but what I did watch were good fights. And overall, 290 was a great card. A lot of upsets, not like major upsets, but like a lot of underdogs won. Like Dan Hooker was an underdog. Robbie Lawler was an underdog. Du Plessis was a huge underdog. Pantoja was an underdog. So that's just like a lot of underdogs won. Looks like Vegas did well out there last night. And I'm excited about the next one. Let me see who is it. It is not really excited about the Holly Holm, but I'm excited about Aspinall and I'm excited about 290 too. Was it the BMF title? So we'll be back. Sorry we haven't been making as many videos, but we're gonna be back. We're gonna be more consistent and hopefully start pumping out some more great content and keep just building and growing the channel. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. We do check the comments. We do respond. We do get back to you. We're real fight fans. We like to talk about fights. We like to hear your opinions. We like you guys to point out stuff that we didn't notice. We like you to tell us when we're wrong. Shit, we make videos, and I definitely thought dude was gonna beat up what's his name Justin Gaethje for Zeev. I was super wrong about that, but yeah, interact with us, make comments, tell your friends. Thanks for watching, and we're out.